What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Solo Alpha. This is episode 3, and as you can see here, we're kind of just doing some mining. We're working on the entrepreneur career agent missions right now, and I'm just purposely over mining on some of these missions. This mission here was like go and mine 333 of titanium, which we got a long time ago. But the reason I'm actually I'm kind of extending past the mission and just like mining whatever is on field is because we're also just kind of working on the air career program. And I know that since I've done these missions before, I know that we're going to get a BBC for a destroyer and a cruiser at some point. And I want to have enough material where we can actually manufacture that destroyer and that cruiser for the manufacturing objective here. Another thing we're doing is we're tracking, over here in the far left, I'm tracking the salvage 50 Rex objective as well, because we're essentially trying to do as much of these objectives in the industrialist path that we can while we're kind of starting out. Considering that most of what we're trying to do, like when we want to dip in the null as soon as possible, but we're essentially at the mercy of waiting for skills. So I'm basically working on just getting this career program done. Another thing I'm going to try to do too is I want to definitely get the Explorer completed, because I'm going to go we're going to probably start off with the Heron, and eventually I want to get the Astro, because this Astro skin you get is pretty cool. It's pretty much like the best looking one for the Astro, I believe, because it has like Explorer on the side, and it kind of like, you know, has a lighting effect and whatnot. Plus all the rewards we're getting for all this stuff is going to come in handy eventually. Like, let's just check out my reward window here. I'm purposely not redeeming anything because it just keeps me from having to move stuff later on, and some of the stuff that does have expiry dates on it, we're just going to keep an eye on it. This expert system could be useful, but we're just going to keep it in there. We also have the 1 million skill points in here. We have 2 expert systems actually. Got another 10k skill points there. But as long as they're inside this reward window, they're not actually applied to our character, so we don't like necessarily lose any, you know, passive training time. This is kind of what my skill queue looks like at the moment. I've got everything sorted by time, just so we can guide nothing. Only like a couple of skills that are over a day, which is Caldari Frigate 4, Mining Frigate 4, and Drone 5. A lot of this stuff is, you know, part of Magic 14, and will help with our ratting and exploration as we progress through that. Just to give you kind of an idea, here's our bro. So we've got 2 days since we've, I guess, been born. We'll be keeping an eye on this employment history tab, just so you guys can kind of see exactly how long we've been going for. I think we might be able to be dipping into null maybe like at the week mark. We definitely want to have, we're going to be going into null to do data relic sites, so we want things like, we want to try to get our hacking as high as possible so that we have as much coherence, and we want our scan strength to be as high as we can get to, so we don't have to like necessarily skip content. So that's some stuff that I'm kind of looking forward to. But once we actually fill up, I'm going to see how much this Feldspar rock has, but essentially what I'm doing here is I'm going to fill up this venture, and then we're going to continue on with the entrepreneur career path. Alright, that rock has finally died, so we can go ahead and head back to the station here. Also kind of cleaned up my overview a little bit. I have the directional scanner and the pro scanner stacked here, kind of move things around a little bit. Turn on compact mode for my overviews, make everything a little bit more cleaner. So it's a wonderful thing about having a ultra wide is there's plenty of real estate, so I don't like feeling too claustrophobic. Also, we have a little bit of room for all the information here on the left, which is nice since we're tracking several different things. So now all we have to do is just dock up and empty out this venture and get another mission going. We actually already had all the Feldspar for this mission, which they weren't actually taking credit for, because part of the objective was you actually had to warp out to that location. Looks like we get a data analyzer. Need to open up this venture, get all this stuff out. I'm not going to be... We need to inject this reprocessing. So what do they want? They want me to do some stuff. I'm assuming we got to use the data analyzer, so... Alright, we put the data analyzer on the venture because why not? I'm just going to check this details. I'm pretty sure there's one mission where something blows up, or was that the old missions? Just read these details real quick. Okay. I think we can do this in the venture. Otherwise, we have another venture if we do lose this one, but we'll just hang on this venture and do what we can with it. We gotta do a data hack, which once we start doing more of that, we'll track that for the career program. More about the location here. Hopefully they'll let me. I didn't even check if they let me take this venture in. Let me in. Yeah, we're good. I don't remember too many of the details on a lot of these missions, but my biggest goal for this episode is to try to get through all of the entrepreneur stuff. This actually gives us the ability to get another salvage going. It's gonna take us a while to get all 50 of those salvaged wrecks, but might as well start now, right? What is our optimal range? 5280. He's just guarding this node. I'm just going to shoot at him while we were hacking it. "25 coherence. Ouch. That sucks. At least it's an easy one. Black box is looted. We're going to loot this wreck too. We're just going to loot everything. Loot and salvage all the things. Turn his micro warp drive off. And detarget that. We get this wreck here. Get it salvaged. I feel like this is the best strategy, is just to get as much of these objectives done for these skill points as possible early on, because that's just going to end up helping us speed through. I feel like once we actually get to like the 5 million, we'll be well rounded enough that we can kind of chill. And my big goal is to have decent enough income that we can buy alpha injectors and use one of those per day, because they're limited. You only use one per day for, like, I think it's 50,000 skill points, but and I think they run like 47 million or something on the market, because we're not going to buy them with Plex. And hopefully our income gets to the point where we can actually start just converting our ISK over to Plex, kind of like I do with my main. And then just see how much, I mean, obviously this series is not strictly about like ISK per hour or whatever, but it'd be interesting to see like that level of success. We got another miner one. Yeah. I really wish I could run double miner ones on this, but like they have me using this Gatling autocannon because I don't have drones yet. Alright, what do we got? Looks like we've got 6 jumps. Jeez. We're taking the encoded data chip, essentially. I think what we're going to do here, though, is I am going to take the Corvette. We also got some rewards here. More stuff onto the pile. That is one good thing about this new player experience and like the career missions is they really do kind of just throw a lot of stuff at you as far as modules and ships and things like that. All right, 6 jumps. There's no way I'm gonna like. I mean, you guys seen. We'll do a couple jumps so you can just kind of see again like how I travel and stuff. But I have a feeling we're gonna be going 6 jumps, dropping this, completing it, and then coming all the way back. So, and obviously you can it'll auto select that in most cases. So you can also just click this button up here that says jump. And for me personally, I like going first person whenever I'm traveling because it makes it a little bit more exciting. And obviously if I drop into like a low sec system or something where like I'm trying to see or get a better idea of what's kind of on the around the gate, then I'll come out of first person and zoom out and get a good bearing of what's going on. But for the most part, this is how I like to do it. That inertial stabilizer that we put on basically increases line time. So we'll simulate this so far. So normally, let's turn this off. Normally this has 6.14 seconds for the align time in order to go into warp. But with this on, it takes it down to 5.11. In case you are unfamiliar with inert stabilizers, they will cause your locking speed to be slower. So keep that in mind. I used to run them on my Buzzard and like some of my exploration ships, but I've more or less now gotten away from inertial stabilizers. On those I use overdrive injectors, which increase your sub warp speed both during prop mod and without, and it doesn't actually sacrifice any on the locking speed, because you want to lock nodes really fast, especially when doing like ghost sites. I don't think we're going to be able to, as an alpha, I think it's going to be very difficult for us to do ghost sites, but if we can, there's a lot of revenue that can come out of that. Four more jumps. And when we get there, we'll pick up where we left off, and then we'll probably be going straight back. Also have location. I don't know if you guys use location, but if you hit, like with the new Photon UI, if you hit L, this will bring up your save location, which obviously we don't have any saved right now. The old interface, you could just hit L and bring up the small local list, and Alt E on the old UI was the location plus like contacts and stuff. But with Photon, hitting L will bring up your actual locations. But then if you want to open the local locations window, you're going to have to hit this little like breakaway button or whatever you want to call this, which will open up this. You can lock it in place. That allows you to see whatever bookmarks you have in your current system, which we'll end up using quite a bit when we start like kind of going to certain null systems regularly. We'll make bookmarks for safe locations and things like that. Or when we scan things, I like to bookmark them, because if you get disconnected and you come back in, then you have to rescan it. So, and my internet is not that great, otherwise I'd probably be doing a lot more live streaming. So whenever I scan anything, I try to save it. Like if it's a data relic site, I'll save it to a bookmark, and then once I run it, I'll clear the bookmark just in case. That keeps me from having to double scan stuff. But we'll get here, turn this in, and then probably head back in the direction we came. I'll at least let you guys kind of see the one way, because I'm pretty sure, like everything else, we're going to drop this off and be told to boogie back. Also, I think this Ibis is actually, this Corvette's actually faster on warp, which is why we took it as well. The actual warp speed, if you go into the fit window here, this right here, this is ship warp speed, so it's basically 3 AUs a second. We can also compare that to our Venture that's already fitted even remotely. So we're gonna simulate this from the asset window. So 5. Okay, so the Venture is like 2 AU faster, astronomical units faster, but we don't necessarily want to just like, you know, gate the Venture if we don't have to. This Corvette is, if we lose it, we can just make another one for free instantly. I don't really mind all this traveling either, because that's a part of our objectives for navigation. So like this, we just got this reward for moving 25 jumps. So a lot of these things we're end up getting passively, so that'll be good. We got one more jump and then docking station, and we can turn this in. And what is this? This is Balancing the Books 5 of 10. So after we complete this one, we'll have 4 more missions for Entrepreneur, and then we'll probably move into, I'm thinking I want you to move into exploration, probably, just to get that popping. We'll get a lot of the modules we'll need for our Heron Fit, probably, either through the Air Career Program or just from mission rewards and things like that. Yeah. 5 people in this system. Now we can dock up. Bring this all the way down, make this kind of smaller. That was weird. It was a weird little bug. If I bring it all the way up like this, if I like size it up, it like moves it, right? And then it like moves the actual anchor. But then when I open up again, it pushes it back down. Interesting. Always finding weird things going on.
Docking permission requested. Docking
Come on.
request accepted.
Dock me. Alright, complete mission. Request. And yep, going all the way back. Looks like we're gonna get broker relations and a nanofiber for that next mission. So we're gonna head our way back and then we'll pick up where we left off. I'm just gonna kind of like 6 jumps there, 6 jumps back, the good stuff. All right, we made it back into the system and now we're docking back up to go on to mission number 6. 4 more missions and Entrepreneur will be done.
Docking permission requested.
And we can move on with our life.
Docking request accepted.
Really, that's why I wanted to get the industrialist missions done first, is because it's a lot of waiting, especially for like the manufacturing jobs and things like that. All right, looks like this is where we have to buy. I think we have to buy something. Yeah. Inject broker relations. This is one of those missions where we have to literally just buy a civilian armor repair, which is, they're seated right here. 20,000. Complete that. That mission was done. 3 more. And then now we gotta get a data cores, which we're gonna get. It looks like a relic analyzer for this, which I'm thinking, I think we're actually going to take the data analyzer off of the Venture and also that autocannon. Or Gatlin. Raw railgun. Take this off. Take my salvager off. Take that off. And just try to use this Corvette for this stuff. Hopefully. Not really gonna have a prop mod, but I guess that's fine. Actually, since we only need the relic analyzer for this, we're gonna put the prop mod on. And why not? We'll throw this damage control that I got from somewhere on there and go do this mission. What's crazy is we end up with like, I think we end up with like 2 Badgers at the end of this, at the end of everything. We'll end up with like several Merlins and all kinds of stuff. And you can get most of it in the Badger and, you know, ship it to GDIP, but that's one reason why I'm kind of keeping a lot in the reward window. And I might actually, in between episodes, I might actually fly to Jita and set home, which will allow me to actually redeem remotely to Jita and have that stuff kind of just waiting for us when we get there. I want to, because essentially what's going to happen is we're going to finish all the career missions and we'll move everything that we have to Jita, and we're going to kind of operate out of Jita like we normally do. And before we get the skills to where we can feel comfortable to go do data relic sites in Null, we're probably going to end up doing a lot of ratting and exploration in HiSec, especially for our like career mission or career program stuff.
Drive active.
Because I definitely I know that I want enough probe strength and enough coherence in the for hacking skills before we go to Null. Because if we can do that, then we'll end up being able to bring back quite a bit of ISK. Alright, I am going to... I think I'm just going to I'm going to orbit this. Hold on W and orbit. I'm not going to turn on this... well, I guess I can turn on this micro warp. Or this is not a micro warp drive, so... We're going to have to come into this guy quite a bit. We're actually just going to have to approach him. Because I want to kill both these rats, and then I want to actually salvage them. Which is literally just going to be us kind of getting right next to him. What's our orbit set at? 5,000. So once we get close enough, we can orbit them. Essentially what this mission is, we're going to be hacking a relic box. Just kind of like we did with the data. I mean, they're really just kind of like letting us go through our paces here. He's approaching me while I'm orbiting him, so he's like, we're like moving in a weird little formation here. Alright, I'm going to go and switch over to the other guy. Because we got a couple more rotations and he'll be down. Alright, he is down. We get the Gatling railgun going on this dude. Switch over to my loot tab so we can see what's going on. And, I mean, normally you could just blast through all these career missions and you can get them done super quick, but I prefer to do things in a kind of, I guess, a completist way. What's our range on this thing? 5. Come in quite a bit. Go and cut the afterburner, just so we don't overshoot things and bounce around. I actually completed all of the air career programs on my main. A lot of it, you know, you can kind of just cheese through. For like the neutralizer stuff and the Nosferatu stuff and like the sensor dampening and all that stuff, I literally just took my alt out in Null and just kind of cheesed all those objectives that way. But we'll probably end up using all those mods on rat sites, so we'll be doing just to get credit for that. And that's more like the Soldier for Fortune stuff, which is like kind of the more PvP oriented things, but a lot of the objectives can be done on just normal NPC rats or things like that. My salvaging skill is horrible. as you could probably imagine. But again, we're only like 2 days old, so that could be expected. I went to like, what, 6 rotations or something on that. Alright, got salvager on the second one, and then we'll just go through the acceleration gate. They didn't drag me too far. We'll use the afterburner to get up there, which now we can switch back to our warp tab. So we can see our acceleration gate on the overview. We didn't even get anything for that first salvage. I don't even think we got credit for it. I think if we fail the salvage, it just doesn't give us credit. Whatever, rolling the dice. Switch back to D-scan, see what's going on in the area. And we're still in the starter system, so not a lot to look at. So we got maybe one more attempt before it fails. I want to get like a MTU probably. We start doing like more rat sites in high sec. That way we can just kind of pull everything together. I think we can use an MTU as an alpha. Let me just double check that. Yeah, we can use one. Didn't get credit for that one either. Yeah, so you have to literally loot successfully salvage to get credit, which is fine. Yeah, that's what it even says. It says successfully salvage Rex. Oh, yeah, no duh. That's why it's going to take a while until our salvage skill gets a lot better. We also need to get this reprocessing skill up, since we're going to be doing a lot of manufacturing off the blueprints that we get. We're already at max salvaging actually for alpha, so that's as good as it's going to get. Alright, let's get to this gate. We've already wasted enough time. We might end up actually, like, since I can't actually get better at salvaging right now, I think we're just gonna probably save that for when we can do it a little more in bulk. Because I do want to kind of start, like, you know, getting to the point where we can push out away from, like, newbie space. Alright, these guys are guarding that node like the other mission. .23 kilometers, and we're there. Target the node as well. We're gonna essentially hack while we're shooting at these two guys. Once we start getting into some drones, it's gonna make things a lot easier, especially for like the lower end rat sites that we'll be doing. It's gonna get boring, but we're probably gonna be looting absolutely everything. Alright, let's get that going. Go and get this hack started. Jesus, right away. What interesting story though, like I have once hit the first node and saw, well actually it was in like the first 3 nodes I want to say, and got the core before, which was kind of interesting. Which is right there. They're so easy that it's like, wow, they won't let me loot it unless this guy is dead. Well, hurry up. Totally forgot to switch targets. It's too busy story timing. Thankfully, when we get it more into the Enforcer, Soldier of Fortune, those missions, we're going to get a lot more guns. Which will make things a lot better. And we're done? Yeah, we're done. Time to warp off.
Active.
This is what, 7, so we'll be 2 missions away once we can turn this in. So my big goal for this episode is at least try to get Entrepreneur done. So we complete something else in the air program. We completed mission 6, cool. Throw it on the stack.
Docking permission requested.
We're just ready to get like a decent frigate.
Docking request accepted.
I've never liked the look of the Ibis. It's just ugly. Alright, start conversation. Complete mission. Sweet. Request mission. What we got? Oh, 1 jump. And ooh, we get one of our implants. Which I'm not even sure we can use this yet. Oh, we can. I do have Cybo 3 and 4 queued up, so... Except... So we gotta use the Ibis one more time. At least it's only 1 jump, right? Got a nice 1M in afterburner, though. Gonna close that. Set desto. Because it's a force of habit, even though it's like 1 jump.
Active.
And away we go. This would be nice. I mean, it's not so bad because this is a starter system, but like if this was a normal high-sec system and we were kind of like ratting and or just kind of like poking around, I probably wouldn't be hanging out with, 60 plus people in local. I tend to try to go as like at least 8 to 10 jumps away from like any major market hubs, whether it be Heck, Jita, Amar, things like that. And I try to operate in high-sec systems that have very low traffic and not very many people in local.
Drive.
That way, things like spikes or something like that are a little bit easier to detect. And also, it's very important when you're in high-sec still to like kind of pick a system and operate out of it for a while, because if you operate out of the same system for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, you get kind of used to the amount of people or who is actually operating that system with you. You build kind of a baseline. And also, another thing I would recommend is like look at the structures in those systems, see what corps own them, and then see if the people in local are part of those corps. Then you can essentially guess that they live there. That way, when you have a bunch of people drop into local, you can kind of differentiate whether or not they're just on a fleet or a gang fleet or whatever, because you've been operating in that single system for so long that you know who the regulars are, essentially. I mean, that's how I did it whenever I started playing. When I was in high-sec, I just picked like a system and I just operate. If I was mining, I just operated out of one system for as long as possible. And things like that. Alright. Now we get to go all the way back. Another career thing done for completing mission 8. 2 more missions. We'll probably, in the next episode, well, obviously when we get done with the Entrepreneur, we're going to go explore, but we're probably going to end up breaking those, we'll try to aim for like about 30-minute episodes for these. The industrialist missions are just weird, like I said, because there's a lot of like, there's traveling in every one of them. But for the industrialist, there's like mining, and then there's like, you're waiting for manufacturing jobs. So my goal is to kind of like streamline, the episodes, so we got a little bit more activity going on. But we shouldn't be that far away from finishing this. Dock.
Warp drive
We
active.
get another one? No, it just didn't load before. So we're doing good. 390 of 750 for industrialist. 110 for explorer. Soldier of Fortune, that category has less kind of like passive completions in it, because it's a lot of things like, duels where we'll, if we have to do that one, we can get, find somebody and just like spam duels. But a lot of this stuff is, like target paint somebody for X amount of seconds and things like that.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
So we're going to have to cheese the Soldier of Fortune category for the most part. Alright, let's get this started. Offered. Except, I think this is where we have to buy an afterburner. Yeah. It's always so weird. Station. Do we already have two? Okay, we already had, yeah. Let's say. We got one from a mission reward, and then we have to give it up for another mission requirement. That's always fun. Alright, 10 of 10. What do we got? Looks like it's a manufacturing job, and we'll get our second Badger. Making guns. Hopefully, we've got all of the things we need to do this with. We don't have to do any extra mining or whatever. We do have it. How many runs is this? 1 hour and 7 minutes. How many do we need? Just one? And that's still 13 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and just make all of them, because I want to try to like use some of these for like the next mission set that we do. Cool. Go ahead and inject this skill here. See if we can make these frigates as well. How many of these can we make? Make one. So that'll be it for this episode, since we're literally just waiting on manufacturing jobs. But once we come back, we'll be working on the Explorer career path. So let's go and clean up. What do we got? More market objectives. Alright, so yep. I'll see you guys in episode 4. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.